have it.
Yeah, thank God we got the mic. Good morning, everybody. This is the Sobo.live podcast number 5. Of course, it's me, Wes Merriott, Erick Falting, and our special guest today, the distinguished, legendary Terrace Marshall Jr. We'll be talking Parkway sports. We'll be talking about a new project that we have here at Sobo Live, and then we're going to dig in a little bit and talk about Mr. Marshall's legacy here at Parkway, everything happened at LSU, you may have heard, and what's going on now in the NFL. Appreciate you joining. Before we get started, if you want to share this in your feed, tag your friends, let them know that we are starting now, and we'll see you after the video. All right, welcome everybody. Appreciate you joining us today and everyone that's joining after the fact. Before we get started, we want to real quick give a special thank you to our sponsor, Bowman's Grading and Asphalt. I know a lot of you guys watch our live broadcast. We've streamed several games this past week, from basketball to soccer to wrestling, and none of those videos would be possible if it weren't for the support of Ryan Bowman and Bowman's Grading and Asphalt. 742-8100. They do everything: house pads, driveways, paving. They're the #1 South Bossier based, and I think #1 in Northwest Louisiana for all that kind of stuff. So Bowman's Grading Asphalt, thank you so much. They're our sponsor for today's show. Of course, we're here with Terrace Marshall Jr. He is a Parkway legend. But before we get into that, Erick, you want to talk about the basketball games last night?
Yeah, man. First of all, don't adjust your camera. Wes did take my seat. So you're probably looking kind of puzzled right now. But nope. I'm over here to the left, and I hope all of you have had a good week. We have missed y'all. We hope you had a good holidays. We missed doing the podcast, but we just realized that everybody was busy. We were busy, and but we are back. This is our first one of 2023. Could not have asked for a better guest. And athletics, sports has started back up. There's even soccer going today. Last night was an absolute thrashing from our Parkway girls. I think honestly they could have ran up 100 on them if they'd left the starters in the game, but at least it gave the underclassmen a lot of opportunity to develop and grow and stuff. It's still a good game. And I want to send a shout out to my brother, Kent Falting, and Coach Chris Kennedy. They have taken the indoor track team down to McNeese this morning, and first time they've been down there in 3 years, so I want to wish them the best of luck. They have really developed, and they have got some absolute athletes on that track team and cross-country team, so they're doing good. And soccer Thursday. Boys and the girls both played, and I didn't stay for the girls, but I know you did.
Yep.
The boys game was good. Those boys fought hard. We had to record a play that Wes has called Play of the Week, but Brace and Touch is just an amazing athlete, and he had one. He had a play that belongs on Sports Center, honestly, and we'll show that here in just a minute, but. Yeah, man, it's been full of sports, and I think there's wrestling. There was a wrestling tournament earlier in the week.
Yep, we had a try right here. Parkway, Evangel, and Bossier. Parkway won both of their duels, so that was great. Last night, the girls won 70-10. I think, Terrace, you were there. What'd you think about their performance?
Man, I liked it. I got there into the first quarter, and it was already 50-3 when I got there.
Yeah.
So they definitely put on a show.
One thing I was really impressed with, and I love the teamwork. You know, they've got outstanding, exceptional individual players. Michaela Williams and Chloe Larry are forces to be reckoned with on that team. But even after they pulled some of their starters, and this is what I mentioned to Coach Alice last night, even after they pulled their starters and started playing some of the underclassmen, those freshmen and sophomores were looking to make a statement and saying, hey, we may not have started this game, but we're going to finish it. And I think they put up like 20 or 30 points themselves. So I was really impressed.
Yes. Zara Baker is a freshman, and she is an absolute all-star. And not to take away from anybody else, but she
had some plays last night.
She puts in the work, and as they all do, but she is I look for her to be kind of one of the team leaders. Of course, Chloe is just a junior, so I think I look for Chloe to take over the team next year, and because Chloe is an absolute all-star as well, and I think we still have some good, promising years to come, and the girls are just going to continue to grow. How did you feel being an LSU grad when you heard Michaela was going to LSU? Did you have any input? Did you talk to her about it? Or
no, I didn't talk to her about it, but it was definitely good to see somebody that's going to the same school that I went to out of high school, just going through that same recruiting process, being
right.
One of the top players, and it's just great to see. Very proud of
it was cool because Kim Mulkey was at the game last weekend. She was here, and Michaela's already signed, so she had no reason to be up here other than just to hang out. And she was as nice as can be. She was taking pictures and stayed for some of the boys' game, and so that was really cool. I definitely look forward to seeing her play at the next level. So.
Yeah, LSU has shown Parkway a lot of love in the last couple of weeks. We had Brian Kelly up here. As I was going through the field house looking for some chairs, I saw a note that the LSU coaching staff had left for Coach Brother and said, hey, we appreciate everything you did this football season. Keep going.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, they're showing a lot of love up here.
They do.
The boys last night it was a heartbreaker, huh? 52-50.
It was.
It was a lot closer.
Yes, but let me tell you something, man. Coach Rayner and his staff are just working hard and just killing it every day, and they are just on the cusp from just absolutely exploding down here. And they lost by 2, but Southwood had some athletes, and they had a 6'10" center who easily could have been considered 7 foot tall with his shoes on. I mean, he was a big boy, and those Parkway kids didn't give up, and they are fighters. And I'm telling you, I think the best is yet to come when it comes to our boys basketball.
Yep. And then real quick, I want to mention soccer. Girls soccer won yesterday, their senior night, 5-0 against Natchitoches Central. That was a great game. And then the boys, their last game against Magnet, it was a 4-1 loss. But there's a play that I want to show, and I'm showing here in a second. But to give you some backstory, Parkway was down 4-0 against arguably one of the top teams in the region, a very aggressive Magnet team, very big. All these kids were like 6 foot, 5'11", big, tall kids. And then a junior, number 5, Brayson Touch, decided at one point that he was not going to get shut out. This is what he told us after the fact. Said, we're not going to be shut out by this team. And he launches a one-man offensive, and I'm gonna show you this.
He definitely took matters into his own hands on that play.
I want to show this clip because it's so good. So you can see he had three defenders. He pulled back a little bit. He was almost offsides, but through three, much bigger defenders, about a 75-foot, or as I was corrected on Facebook yesterday, it's 25 yards. That's how you should describe it.
Oh, okay.
25-yard shot over the head of the goal. I mean, it was incredible.
It was a shot.
So, they lost, but at the end of the game, they said, we're not chumps, and I have a lot of respect for the heart, not giving up, because 4-0 in soccer, that's like 50-0 in football. So, it showed a lot of heart. It kind of reinvigorated the team. They did play, they played a tough team, but that was our Sobo.live play of the week. Big shout out to Brayson Touch. That was a great play. And I was trying to think, was there anything else? Oh, yeah, we wanted to give a quick shout out and good luck to your brother,
I did earlier.
Coach Falting.
Already did this morning.
Heading down to McNeese.
Mm-hmm. First time in 3 years. So.
And then real quick, we have an exciting new project you guys have seen, but we wanted to briefly mention the sobostore.com. You may have checked out the website. But what we decided to do last month, me and Eric had a quick discussion, but we wanted a way to keep our operation running smooth, pay for some of the things like going to these away games and travel like that. But we also wanted to give back to the community. So you'll see apparel like band. We've got stuff for the wrestling team, stuff for soccer, even dance line and baseball. all the proceeds from this we're going to take and split with the individual programs. So if you buy a baseball hoodie, half of the proceeds are going to go to the baseball program. You buy a dance thing, it's going to go to dance line, so on and so forth. It's just our way of, one, saying thank you to the community that we're so proud of, and to kind of give back.
Yeah, we want to give back, and we wanted to do something, and I know a lot of people started talking about the Sobo.live store and had a lot of questions about it. Wes and I have kept that kind of close to the vest, and people are, there's always going to be haters out there, and always people that complain, but our goal has always been to give back with Sobo Live, and so this was the best way. And so literally we're going to have each team or each department, and we are open to more. So we're going to have a cross country and track department up on there, and basically you just click, and whatever you buy t-shirts for the band, then proceeds from that each department are going to go to the programs, and it's just our way of giving back. And we want to show that we love Sobo. We want the teams and the programs to have the nice stuff that other people have that we may not have, and so if we can give and do our part, that's what we're excited to do. So.
For sure. We just saw a comment pop up, and I'm glad it's working. Jeremy Gallman said Parkway Fishing is on the water as we speak, so don't want to omit the fishing team.
No, not at all. We have got an outstanding fishing team. Jeremy Gallman has taken that bull by the horns, and him and Bradley Virgilito, who is our SRO at Parkway, they do some great things, and those players, they work really hard, especially being out in this nasty weather fishing. I wish them the best of luck. And we need to have a fishing store on the sobo.live store so they can make some money as well. And it all is from the public of South Bossier or people all over the country. Order some swag and support these clubs.
Yep. And finally, let's get to talking with our special guest. Again, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. As we were getting set up this morning, we were going through. Have you been in the field house since you graduated?
Yeah, I've been. Yeah.
So you saw the banners and everything. There's it's not a typo. Your name's on the wall a lot here. Over 2,700 receiving yards during your career. What's it feel like when you show back up at Parkway? Do you feel like you have a legacy here?
Yeah, most definitely, man. Definitely feel like home. I love coming back. Just coming to see everybody. Me growing up. Going to college and just doing what I do. It allowed me to be away from home a lot. So just coming home, it always helped me, to remember, that all the love that I have back at home. So.
Absolutely.
Tell us how did you get started in football as a little kid? Obviously, what made you decide, and then what made you decide to pick football as your go-to sport over everything else?
I say my pops, he took me out there like 4 years old. They told me I was too young, and I came back the next year, and I just kind of took off after that, with it. And he kept me in basketball, football, track, growing up. So, sports was my life,
Right.
Man, I got to Parkway, under Coach Feaster. It was a blast, playing for him.
Yeah, I bet.
Him and Coach Scoggins. So, we just, I just grinded, man, and I'm here where I'm at now.
Yeah, I've seen that most of the athletes that we talk to, it seems like they're athletes, but then they specialize in this sport, and then you specialize even further, utilizing your height as a receiver, and the results were astronomical.
Now, did you have a decision to make between basketball and football? Was it a hard decision, because you obviously have the build to be an all-star basketball player? Did you have a hard decision, or did you know that football was what you wanted to do?
I said at first basketball was my first love. Like I said, I always played both. So around 7th to 8th grade, basketball was first, and then once I got to like 9th grade, high school, I just started loving football more, but I always kept, playing both just in case. But that love started growing for football when I got to Parkway.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously throughout your career with the numbers you had to have dozens, if not more, colleges reach out to you. What made you decide to stay with LSU, stay local?
A lot of people don't know, but I tell the story now that I had flipped to LSU like the night before my signing day.
Really?
Oh, really?
So I was going to Texas A&M originally. That's
okay.
where I had, that was my top 2 schools, LSU and A&M. So the night before I flipped, I prayed about it, and this guy just sent me a sign and told me to go to LSU, and I trusted it, and I walked by faith on that. So that was just my decision on LSU, the ending decision, But just throughout my recruitment process, I had visited LSU a lot, due to that being, the home state, the home school. So definitely had my recruitment open, across the country. And, I said recruitment was a joy. I had fun doing it. I waited all the way until end of my senior year to pick my school. So, I was able to, take as many visits as I can and really enjoy the ride. So.
What were some of the other colleges that you considered that you liked, campus-wise, coach-wise?
I took official visits to University of Texas, Florida State. I didn't take one to Alabama, but I visited them a couple times. And Nick Saban came and visited me here. So it was Tennessee. Who else? There was a lot of schools, man. I had a lot of looks. So just being nationally ranked like I was. So.
Yeah, you're a 5-star recruiter. You're going to get to
now,
check
what
it out.
did you think about visiting with the GOAT of all of college coaching, Nick Saban? Were you nervous? Like, how do you prepare for something like that?
I wouldn't say I was nervous, but definitely, was I said dream come true because you see him, across TV. That was before my time, just been on TV a lot. Just looking at him, knowing the legacy that he brings behind him. So just meeting him and seeing my pops, get to meet him and my family. Just being around people that are elevated. And just at that young age, it showed me a lot.
Yeah, I bet that was cool. In Tennessee, who was the coach at Tennessee then?
I think it was Butch.
Was it Butch Jones?
It was Butch,
okay.
Yeah.
And then you decided LSU. Then you lose your head coach. How do the players respond to losing your head coach and then gaining the new head coach?
It's that sort of thing, man. It's like I was just telling him before the interview. It's all, I would say, just above me.
Right.
Something I gotta deal with. Either way, I gotta go out there and perform. No matter what. So. That's always been my mentality, with things like that. Just growing up, my parents, especially my pops, he always told me, keep the focus on what I got to focus on and just let everything else, happen in place.
Now, did Coach O get to tell y'all bye?
Actually, he left after I declared, so he was there when I left.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So let's talk about your 2019 season. That was your sophomore year, right?
Sophomore year.
So I did a lot of research because I like to know stats. I'm like a numbers guy, so I was looking at everything, and you had that team was just an incredible team. I'd say one of the best college football teams probably in the last 25 years, maybe ever. That was an incredible team, especially to see where everybody's gone since then. What was it like playing week in and week out, and when did y'all realize like, hey, this team is something special? We may have something here.
I say it's a joy, man. That off season even felt different.
Really?
Just going into that, we would break it down on national championship. Just we kind of knew, spoken into existence basically with all the hard work coming behind us.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it was just that feeling, man. It was really that perfect year. Nothing's perfect, but that year just felt good all year. And I say when we beat Bama, that's when we really knew, that we had a chance, due to the rivalry history, between those two. And man, after we beat them, we took off after that.
That's when the momentum was just too high.
Just kept it going.
It's funny, we both come from the car business, and the car dealerships are always open on the weekend. But if you went to Holmes Honda during the fall of 2019 on a Saturday, business almost crawled to a stop. We had all these TVs that were like showing off all the cars and everything. But, the manager had clicked the remote. He'd put on LSU. So put LSU behind 15 screens inside there. So we watched. That was an incredible season to watch.
It was a joy.
It was something special, for sure. And then, some of your classmates that came out of there. Y'all had the receiving class. That was coach's dream, a quarterback's dream. And then look at your quarterback that y'all had. Right. Some of y'all had all the weapons.
Yeah, man, it was a joy. Like I say, playing with Jess, Jamar, and Joe, and along with the rest of my teammates. Like I said, we had so much fun that year. We was playing football, and just on the outside looking in, people see, that we were serious or whatever. But we had a whole lot of fun that year, man. Just doing everything
now,
we did.
Do you still have relationships with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase? Y'all still talk pretty regularly?
Yeah, that whole team pretty much still close, and I look forward to us, that reunion that we have 10 years from now, man. It's gonna be fun, to link back up.
Where will you be tomorrow watching them play?
Actually, I'm gonna be here in town still, so I don't know when I'm watching that, but I'm definitely find the TV.
Now, will you talk to them today or tomorrow? Text them, hey, good luck?
I'll probably text them good luck. Me and Jamal, we close, so actually I was down there for the Bengals and the Ravens game with them. So
awesome,
good.
See, I always see in my mind, I was just like, all right, they gotta have like a group chat or something.
Group chat, but definitely stay in touch. I built some strong relationships, in college, and me and Jamal go back even in high school. We was playing together, so 7-on-7 league and all that. So
that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Now,
how much? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Talk to us about what made you decide to declare for the NFL draft when you did. Meaning, you very well could have done it the year before. You could have done it if you stayed another year. What made you decide to declare for the draft then? When you did?
I just think it was time. It was that time where I felt ready. I felt to go after my dream, and it's always been my dream to retire my parents and make them not work again. So that was my main goal, and just doing that, and I was able to do it, and I'm blessed, man. All glory to God.
Well, obviously, when you operate at that high of a level, you got to be thinking, I'm not getting any younger. I want to stay in my prime as long as I can. And I think you made a smart decision. You had a lot of momentum going into that.
Yeah.
Tell us about what it was like. We heard on our last show about the Major League Baseball draft process. What was it like for you going into the NFL?
Man, actually, I found out I had needed surgery like that January, before the combine and all of that. It was a couple months before, and I said I was went through a little adversity mentally, just had to snap back quick into that. I got the surgery and did some rehab, and I was able to get myself right, before the pro day and all of that. And draft process was pretty fun. I learned a lot. Was able to talk to different teams around the league, get the feel of how the coaches are, how they communicate, and it was fun. I wouldn't say it was tough. It was definitely a journey, with rehab and stuff. But
how stressful was it coming back from the injury and then going into this most important part of your career ever?
It was times that I think about it, but I always just revert back to my faith in God. Knowing that whatever happens, He's gonna work it out. So
it's meant to be.
Yeah, meant to be. So I just grinded my way through it, man, and I was able to be healthy, for the pro day, and be healthy enough to go and do the imaging for the combine and all. How they check your body and
they do
check the
yeah, they check everything.
Yeah, man, they had you in a CT scan for freaking an hour. So. So man, that journey it was fun. It was fun.
Now, as a player, how did it affect you when you watched Hamlin go down? Because you would think as thoroughly as they check y'all, because I'm sure they check y'all thoroughly to prevent stuff like that. How did you and your teammates react? Because he sent a shock around the world.
Right, man. He definitely, woke the world up with that one. Just reminding everybody, that we put our lives on the line, for this. This is our livelihood. Just like everybody else has a job, y'all got a job, man, we got a job, and we do it for our families, we do it for y'all, we do it for ourselves. Our name on our back. So, man, it's definitely my heart go out to him. Praying for his recovery continuously, and when he went down, it definitely, like you say, it affected the world. So
yeah, it was scary.
So yeah, man.
It just reminded me. We look at football players, especially as the hits they all take, and the athletic conditioner, and that you guys are indestructible. But it reminds me, everybody's fragile. You never know what's going to happen. So obviously, our prayers are still with DeMar and his family. I'm really impressed by just the whole world, stopping and saying, hey, it's more than a game, it's a man's life. This is a son, a brother. But yeah, I'm glad. I really was glad to see, they stopped. They had announcer on ESPN was praying on TV. It was just everybody kind of reminded us of it. We're all humanity. This is not.
There's still good human beings in the world, and as if he couldn't be loved enough, the camera catches Joe Burrow hugging the other quarterback, and it's like, dude, this Joe Burrow is just as good as gold, and he cements it every time he's on the camera, and it was really cool to see that they stopped the game and just focused on him as a human being instead of TV ratings and sponsorships and commercials and stuff like that. So that was really, really cool. Talk to us about losing your head coach, because apparently he was loved by the players. Steve Wilkes, that was his name.
Yeah.
Talk to us before we get into the new coach. Talk to us about your relationship with Coach Wilkes, if you had one, receiver coach as well.
I said we started developing our relationship when he took over as interim, because he was more on the defensive side before he took over. So, but definitely Coach Wilkes is a great guy, great man overall, great family man, and players coach for sure. He knows how to learn his players and get to know them and know what they can do and using them to the best of their ability. And all hats out to him. Looking forward to seeing what he has next, in his career.
And I thought it was interesting when we were talking earlier. You mentioned the way that the organization is, and Coach Wilkes, he might have his, he has his offensive and defensive coordinators, and he works closest with them, from what I understand. And then from the players level, you work with your first line supervisor as your section coach or your receivers coach. How much of his values and how much of his personality transcends down the ranks through the coordinators and the coaches?
I say, the person that's leading a group of men, always is going to have a positive impact, and he speaks up a lot, and like I said, he wasn't, he was on the defensive side, so I never really heard him talk. But whenever whenever he addressed the team the first day, I knew that we could possibly make a turnaround this year, and we did. So we fought hard, to the end. We came up short, but definitely overcame a lot. So.
Good deal. Now, fast forward, and they announced 2 days ago that the first Carolina quarterback, when they started as a franchise, is your new head coach. Do you know anything about him? Have you met him yet? Does anybody talk about, what was y'all's process of preparing to hire a new head coach? And, do they include y'all? Do they ever come and say, hey, what's y'all's opinion? How does their process of hiring a new coach go for y'all? What did you think about it?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Frank Reach. I've never met him before, but definitely I know that he's a good coach, and I'm looking forward, to being a player of his. And I just say with the process, of picking a coach, we don't really, that's above us, like I say. So we don't really have a say-so in that. It's kind of just, go work out and get ready.
Business as usual.
Business as usual. So
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be ready to go all out for him, no matter what, and make sure I give my 100% and doing what I gotta do to help this team.
Now, being in the NFL, you are under a hell of a microscope, obviously. Does sometimes you being out in public or you just living a normal everyday life, do you get nervous wondering who's going to see this, who's got their phone out? Do you ever worry about stuff like that? Or
Nah, not really. I sort of just be me everywhere I go.
Right.
And just let the world adapt to me, as far as just, where I be at or whatever. So definitely, keep my head on the swivel, for things. Definitely dangerous out here, being known sometimes. But I take the good with the bad, and I love my life, I love me, and I love the people that surround me. So I make sure I surround, myself with positive people. Just being, in the right place at the right time, and just walking by faith.
Tell us about the Panthers organization. I've got a friend of mine. He's been a huge fan since high school, and I always thought it's a weird thing because we got the Saints, we got the Cowboys, but he's been a fan since freshman year. Yeah. So what was it like day one showing up at that organization? How did you feel? Tell me about the culture. Tell me about the Panthers.
Man, when I got drafted, I never had been to North Carolina until I got drafted, so it definitely new to me, but adjusted to the city fast. It's a nice city, nice view, nice scenery, downtown, area, nice skyline and stuff. I've been adjusting well, been there a year and a half now, and just trying to, get involved with the community as quick as I can, and just the Panthers organization, man, is nothing short of great. Just great people overall. Just developing relationships every day.
How did they welcome you as a new rookie? How does that work?
Actually, we went to a basketball game, went to an NBA game.
That's cool.
Walked in the hotel. You got stuff laying on the bed and stuff like that. So
that's cool.
It was fun. I got to meet with everybody around the organization, and that's it.
Now, did you get a house down there, or do you get an apartment down there?
Yeah, I purchased a home out there.
So. Oh, cool deal.
Yes, sir.
So you're planning on sticking with that organization?
Yeah, my contract.
You feel home there.
4 years, so.
Okay.
Yep.
And obviously, you want to stay and be a part of that organization.
Yeah, yes, sir. That's the plan. You know, they don't get rid of me.
Now, aren't they building like this big, huge facility?
They was. I think it's on hold right now, if not mistaken. But we were supposed to move into it this year, upcoming year. But I think it's on hold right now.
The plans for it were absolutely stunning,
it's crazy.
man.
It's crazy.
He is. What's the owner's name? Tepper.
David Tepper.
He is not afraid to spend some money.
Oh yeah, he got it.
And that's really cool. Now, talk to us about. You have your own foundation, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Tell us about it, and how did it start?
Well, I got TMJ Foundation. I use that whenever I'm, giving back, to the hometown. I used it when I did a shopping spree for those kids at Walmart. That family. My heart go out to them. Definitely don't like to see people struggling in my face and knowing that I can do something about it. And I feel like God has put me in a position to bless others, and definitely want to use that light to be able to give back and help in every way I can.
I think it's pretty incredible that even in your early 20s, you've got the mindset of somebody much, much, much older, more mature, coming back and giving to the community.
So talk to us about how you started the foundation. Like, who runs it? What kind of stuff y'all do? How do you raise money?
Actually, my mom, we just got started in it. Actually, we just picked it up within the last, few months, and we just got it on the road, got going. Giving back is just something that I've always done, but I just added the foundation to it, just gaining that knowledge of that. Man, it's been a fun process, definitely doing things in the future with more drives, like Thanksgiving turkey drives, and just doing stuff for Christmas and stuff like that, any way I can.
Now, what are y'all doing to raise money to the foundation to get donations?
We do auctions. We'll do auctions, in the near future and stuff like that. Auctions, giveaways, and just different fundraisers and stuff. A lot of stuff in the works, but nothing specifically right now.
Right, and you just recently provided the basketball team with shoes.
Right. That was just something off the heart. I did that. Like I say, that's part of me. That's what I do, man. I'm gonna give back. So that's just adding the foundation to it. And, I'm, even without the foundation, I'm still gonna, do what I gotta do.
And that's something I try to explain to folks that aren't from Bossier or South Bossier specifically. There's something special about this community. Our community we're very tight. I've never had a bad thing to say about South Bossier when I tell people where I'm from, because especially when I meet someone that's not from Louisiana and I explain to them, I'm from Bossier City, and they say, "Oh, you mean like Shreveport?" I say, "Well, hold on a second. It's a little different. It's a little bit different.
Way different."
So, and whenever we have folks like you have gone on to achieve these unattainable levels of professionalism, but you still come back and say, "Hey, this is my hometown. I got a lot of love for this hometown. I got a lot of love for the high school, for the people of this community." That says a lot about the community that we were all raised in.
Most dope.
I think it's something special, and I think you acknowledge that. It's a special area.
Definitely want to just like I say, be that light, man, for kids. Who are looking up and feeling like it's impossible. Just letting them know, remind them that I'm standing in the same spot you're standing in, and I was once in the shoes that you had.
And that's what I love the most. I think it's awesome when these kids come through, especially the freshmen, they're trying out for the football team, and, they see names like, Brandon Harris, Terrace Marshall Jr., on the
Keandre Woodtee.
Anybody that, you put in the work and you got the talent, you can come from Bossier and be, a success. And I think that's, you're a testament to that. You can achieve the highest levels if you put in the work, and this is a place that cultivates that. We got some excellent athletes here.
Now, when you're off and you're here, talk to us about your daily routine. Do you have a workout regimen, strict diet you still follow when you're down here? What is some of the things that you do while you're here?
I'm just down here visiting. I come visit from time to time, and I'm pretty much no diet when I come home. I come back to Louisiana.
Vacation mode in Louisiana.
No, it's no diet at all. How we eat. So just taking it day by day. Like I said, I'm getting this off season kicked off, and I'll start back training and stuff in about 2 weeks.
Really? That quick?
Yep.
So when does your official practice season begin? Because I know you're going to start preparing and start working out, but when does...
We do OTAs, and that's off-season training. We start that in mid-April.
Okay.
Then we'll do that all the way up to about June, and then we'll be off, and then report at the end of July for camp.
I gotcha.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Now, will you go to the All-Star Weekend?
You talking about the Pro Bowl and
Yeah,
stuff?
you're going to go?
No, actually, yeah, in Vegas for Super Bowl
Right.
week, I'll be down there for Super Bowl, but the All-Star week, I won't be down there.
Okay. So y'all will go down there for the Super Bowl? That'd be cool.
I'll go down there, yeah. I got some events set up and stuff, so.
Oh, really? So they'll involve the players from other teams?
It's just
stuff
with
like that?
marketing, my marketing team, they set up some stuff, events and stuff during Super Bowl week, all the events they got going on and all that, so.
Now, talk to us about your marketing team. What kind of stuff, like how does that work?
They just work on, like, you see all those ads and stuff, across, you see those Old Spice commercials and stuff like so they play a part in getting those type of deals done and stuff like that, so.
So we didn't need to go through the marketing team to get you to come down here. Yeah, that's
So
really
if you pull
cool.
out a thing of Old Spice and set it down, we know what's coming next.
Right.
Gatorade or Power.
It's
stuff
paid
like that. Yeah.
paid partnership.
That's really neat, man. That's really neat. Now, talk to us about your family, how much they've supported you growing up, and how big a support they are and involved they are now. Because your mom basically is your manager, right?
Yes, sir.
So talk to us about that.
Yeah, man, mama, pops, little sister, grandparents, is everybody. My whole family, they come deep. They know how to support, and definitely all thanks to them. Just looking in the stands, ever since I've been young, seeing them, it means a lot. And it reminds me, that the kids out here, that don't have parents and stuff. That's why I try to, be there as much as I can, because I know, some people coming up, they need that support.
Yeah, definitely.
That pat on the back sometimes, and I just want to say thank you to my family. Shout out to them.
Are your folks from this area originally?
Yep.
So
my pop's from Shreveport. My mom, she's from Harlem.
Okay, so you met right in the middle.
Yeah.
Right in the middle.
Now, how old were you when you moved to Bossier, or were you born and raised here?
Actually, I moved to Bossier right after I was. I moved to Bossier like 3rd or 4th grade.
Okay, so pretty much your whole life.
I was back and forth though, because my pops, he lived in Shreveport, and my mom, my parents, they were separated, so I'd go stay with my pops. When I was going to Evangel, I was staying in Shreveport with my pops, and came back to Bossier, 8th grade, moved back with my mom, and that's when I went to Elm Grove, and then I came to Parkway, and so on after that.
It's wild how the smallest thing can alter the whole course of your life. Like you said, the night before, the day before, you're planning on going to A&M, and then just that one decision and trusting in your faith, hey, and got a natty,
Yeah, man,
That's
got
pretty
a
wild.
natty. Yeah,
Now,
crazy.
when you changed your mind, do you call Coach O, or do you call them the next morning and tell them, hey, I changed my mind, or do you just everybody find out at the same time when you announce it?
They all found out, at the same, actually, when I made the decision to flip, I hit Coach O up, told him, hey, I'm coming. Actually, I told him I'm coming. Then I told A&M, I was like, I'm good. I told him when I figured it out, and just due to me, being the top in the nation, I was able to, hold out and stuff like that, and I was graduating early, so it wasn't really a big deal to me just holding out, making them wait. So I made them wait.
They were sweating, I bet.
Yeah.
Now, talk to us about, because lots of athletes are doing that nowadays, your mindset and practice. Why do y'all graduate early? Like, I know why, but tell the people, why do y'all graduate early?
It was sort of a business decision, I had to miss out on prom and that last year of high school, but I was ready to go, and fulfill my dreams. I wanted to go and get, play in the spring, and just get a head start of the rest of the class that's gonna come in the summer. So that was pretty much my mindset, going to get some extra time and get better.
So you get to practice with the team early, stuff like that.
So you get a little bit of extra development beforehand.
Right.
Started in January.
And do you get to play the purple and yellow game or purple and gold game or something like that?
Spring game. Yep,
Did you get to
that? Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
So players that waited till the end of the year to graduate and then go, they won't get to play in that.
No, they didn't get to play in that.
Okay,
Yep.
so
I was able to practice in the spring, and I had got hurt my senior year too, so I feel like it was all part of God's plan for me to go and get rehab and get ready for the season.
Right.
Yep.
This is something you mentioned with the development and getting there early, and I'm thinking about the plays, learning the plays, the play calling. Obviously in the NFL, it's at a very high level. How much did it benefit going to a school like LSU that's institutionalized football at the highest level? Was it just the transition that much easier, learning some of these NFL play packages, or
Yeah,
was it still a next level stuff?
It's next level for sure, but I'll say, LSU puts you in one of the best positions, to get ready and apply yourself for it. But it's definitely not the same, but it's translation, and due to the SEC, that's been the closest to the NFL. So, that transition wasn't as hard as far as plays and all that. I say the speed sped up a little bit, so and the holes got a little smaller, as far as just playing quarterback or playing receiver, reading defenses. But transition it's different, but LSU definitely prepared me, for it.
That's what I was saying. LSU, especially the schedule they play and the SEC, the competition.
Yeah.
Now, I have another question that's very similar. The speed of these cornerbacks and these safeties, obviously, top SEC teams have some talent, but then you go to the NFL and it just seems like everybody is so fast.
Yeah.
What's the difference? What's the real gap between SEC football and playing the NFL? Is it like little league to high school, or is it?
Nah,
it's pretty close.
Yeah, nah. I say, man, I wouldn't even just call it speed. It's really just all mental. It's NFL is more mental than physical. People look at us hitting each other and stuff, but it's way more mental than physical. It's just being at the spot, quicker than what you would have been a year ago. I wouldn't just call it speed. It's just reaction time and just instincts and IQ level. And I just think that when you get to the NFL, just learning what you learn, from the level of coaching that you're receiving. I just feel like you just get better, thinking quicker, thinking faster.
Now, with you, it's almost. What was your first play like when you stepped on the Carolina Panther field? How long did it take you to get the nerves?
Man, it was definitely a dream come true. Walking in on my first preseason game, we played in Indianapolis. It was a dream come true. I took it all in. Probably shed a tear, before the game, because it's just like real, feel like mad. Just a dream come true, man. I definitely.
Now, because I asked because for most people, like I'm a diehard Louisiana Tech fan. The most people that'll be in our stands will be 25, 30,000 people. You're going, and then you go to the NFL where there's going to be anywhere from 60 to 80,000 potential people. So you're going from playing in front of 100,000 people, kind of backwards, less crowd noise. Was it an adjustment for you?
No, I say
did you get out there and like, oh man, this is a little bit quieter than I'm
quieter than Death Valley?
No, definitely LSU prepared me for that. It wasn't. I don't think I played it anywhere as loud as LSU and Alabama game.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
but NFL definitely gets loud. Playoffs you get real. Those wild card games and those end of the season games when it's getting down to the wire, it definitely gets crazy. But LSU, man, it was nothing tops LSU.
I mean, you've played in some of the biggest games of college football history. So I mean, I'm sure it takes. It would be a stout playoff game to get to that same level that you're used to. So I think you're right. I think LSU did prepare you for the spotlight. Because the spotlight was never on y'all any harder than it was in 2019.
Right.
Now, when you're playing Alabama and y'all beat Alabama, did you get to talk to Coach Saban? Did you say hi? Did you say anything? Or
no, I didn't get to talk to him. It's kind of like after recruitment, everybody forget they know each other.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I'm sure he keeps because as analytical, he's in mind like that.
He's like, I lost that
I should have said something to that kid.
I'm pretty sure that's all of them for sure. When they recruited, they was recruiting. They come and beat their team. They probably think about it.
It's funny that Nick Saban says when we beat a team it's whatever, but when someone beats Alabama y'all got to tear down the field goal.
Yeah,
he's got a little bit of arrogance, but he's got the resume to be like that.
Yeah, has a resume to back it up. Now, everyday life. Talk to us about you have hobbies. What stuff you like to do outside of football?
Just chilling with family, man, friends, and I go on vacations. But mostly, man, I just be kicked back. I be out the way. I don't really
Where's some of the cool places you've gone on vacation?
I haven't been out of the country yet,
but
I'm definitely planning to go to the UK, probably Cabo, Canada, places like that. Just want to go, see the world, man. I got the opportunity to, so got my passport and definitely.
It seems pretty sensible list, UK, Canada. I was thinking he was going to say you did throw in Cabo in there, so do a little bit of beaches.
Now I have to ask because I asked the same thing of Eric Brown. You sign your big contract, dream come true. What's the first big your first big purchase? Like, I just signed my contract. I'm going to buy a yacht. I'm going to buy a car.
Eric told us he bought his truck, huh?
Yeah, Eric told us he went and bought his truck. What was your first big purchase?
I bought my mom a crib.
See, look at that.
My house.
Oh,
See?
awesome.
Actually, I got my car first, but this was during the draft. I got my car, and then the next thing I got was my mom.
What kind of car did you get?
I got an AMG Mercedes-Benz.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Oh,
nice.
yes.
Yeah.
See, both of us with our background in
Yeah,
car
we're
business.
car business.
We like.
Oh yeah.
I love
Car
cars.
guys.
So.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. And I was always interested, like, just, to get that big contract and the big purchase and stuff like that. So
They took care of mom first. I mean, that's,
yeah.
Man.
Now, what did you major in when you were in college?
Sports management, leadership commerce.
Okay, so that leads to my next question. NFL won't last forever.
Mm-hmm.
It could be over this year. It could be over 10 years from now. Or you could be like Brady and play for 20 years.
Yeah.
What is your after plan, or do you even have one? What would you like to do?
I mean, I call myself an entrepreneur. Just, I have a business already, LSU. Just M2B, meant to be clothing brand. So that's on the ground right now, but it's up and coming. And I say by the time I'm out the league, I'll have different properties and just real estate, whether it's restaurants. Just being an entrepreneur. Just giving back as much as I can. And just giving back in different ways, new creative ways that's allowing me to, gain my funds and just keep,
Well, I think it's cool that because you said your mom's your manager, being that she is your mother, she probably helps keep you grounded and you're not being flashy like some of these other football players, showing up in fur coats and dripped in jewelry and all this stuff like that. You're being smart with your money, investing it to have a life outside of football. Yeah. Do you ever see yourself wanting to coach at all?
Definitely gonna do a form of that. I'm definitely gonna use my knowledge and my experience. And like I say, help give back. That's gonna be part of that. Never really just thought of full-time coaching, but definitely gonna come back to this high school level and make sure I pass on my knowledge.
Yeah. Now, if you had your choice, say you decided to be a coach, would you rather do high school, college, or obviously college and NFL make more money? But what would be your choice between college and NFL?
I'll do high school.
High school, yeah.
I don't want to coach college or NFL.
That's a lot of stress.
I would imagine the stress level for NFL, of course, it's going to be more because you have a football player. Deion Sanders, he said it best. He's like, I don't want to coach the pros. You are wasting your time if you want me to coach pros. I do not want to coach a bunch of millionaires because they're millionaires. They think they can. And college kids don't have all that. Some of them have NIL deals and all, and we get that. But he wants to coach the younger kids because
they're hungry.
They're hungry.
Yeah.
They want to get to that level, and I get it. It makes perfect sense. I can imagine the stress level that an NFL coach has to go through dealing with people. That grown adults. Some people are older than what's his name, Shanahan. He's only 36 years old, dealing with 40-year-old players, 38-year-old players. I bet it'd be kind of hard.
Yeah, man. I do high school. I say I have a lot more knowledge to pass on. And just knowing how it goes, I say the younger guys they need more men in their life, to be able to help them, guide them.
That's right. That's something that's missing in a lot of communities is that male role model.
Yep.
And sports is one of the things that kids can get into and get that without maybe they're missing from another part of their life.
Right.
So what's next for you? What can we expect from you next season?
Man, big season. I'm gonna work my butt off this off season. That's a promise, and it's gonna be a big year coming from me, and I'm definitely gonna make everybody proud.
How did you? Was Matt Rule? He was a good guy, huh? I mean, he was it's just hard. What would be your opinion on these college coaches, including Coach Saban? What would be your opinion? How come they don't make it in the NFL? I just don't get it.
I just think it comes with timing. With the NFL, they want you to win now and stuff like that. And I just say it's a process with everything.
Right.
Just in the NFL, bro, it's hard to win one game. It's
Right.
a lot that go into it.
Yeah.
Just in 1 week, and I say Belichick didn't win his first Super Bowl 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? To 15 years after he was coaching. So I just say it just take time. And a lot of these fan bases they don't be patient.
They want the
So,
results right now. And it's hard to make that chemistry and all that happen. In one season.
Right. And Frank Reich, he was a good quarterback. I mean, he was a good player. He's got a good offensive mind. So I think that he can bring. I mean, he's more geared towards offense, obviously. So that's something to look forward to. Who would you think will be y'all's quarterback this year?
I have no clue yet. That's one thing that's above me too.
Right.
I haven't received a big contract yet, so I don't really have much say so in that. And I'm confident though that our organization is gonna make the right decision.
Who was the quarterback last year?
It was Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, P.J. Walker.
Y'all had a
lot of rotating door, and talk about timing. Baker Mayfield just struggles with y'all, and then he comes over to Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. Had a couple standout games.
Yeah, and I mean it's like I guess it's just being in the right system, being with the right people. Not that they're the wrong people, but just where you fit in and
it's
the timing.
Chemistry,
yeah, the chemistry. And I liked Sam Darnold too. I don't know PJ. It was Walker. I don't really know him, but I always liked Baker Mayfield. So I thought his Cleveland, when he was with the Cleveland Browns, those commercials were hilarious when he was like living in the stadium and stuff like that.
You do those Heisman commercials.
Yeah,
pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we look forward to I look forward to seeing your season next year. I know you're going to put in the work because you've done it at every level. So, I mean, we're going to be watching.
With my autographed Terrace Marshall football, the Meet the Panthers. I'll tell people the Meet the Panthers deal that we go to every year. I bid on this cooler that Chris Fielder from Fielder Paint and Body does every year, and it's the most. Matter of fact, I got it twice. I've got 2 coolers, and I gave one of them away. But I bid on it, and they said, hey, this one's got a surprise in it. And lo and behold, I bid on this cooler, and it's an awesome cooler. And I opened it up, and there is an autographed Terrace Marshall football in there that's sitting over there. And it's sitting on our mantle there. And so I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the best is yet to come. That's what they always say. And your future is bright. How old are you now?
22.
22. So you got a good career. A good career ahead of you, man. So
yeah, we're excited, and thanks again for coming in on the weekend.
We
I know it's your off
it,
season.
Thank y'all for having me, man.
And we're glad. I'll tell you what, that is, your parents raised you right, and it was really first class because, and we don't usually talk about stuff behind the scenes, but when I talked to Coach Rayner, we were under the impression that we weren't. We weren't as big a priority, that we probably would just end up being on a Zoom call. But when Rayner said no, you told him you wanted to come in town and you wanted to be on it with us in person, that is just absolutely first class. And I'm really proud of you, and I'm really appreciative of you to do that.
Yeah, that means a lot.
That means a whole lot.
We want to tell the good news stories, the things that are happening in South Bossier and the people that are from here. One, to tell everybody and kind of brag on who comes from here in our community, but also to inspire the people that are growing up here and say, hey, you can be anything. You can go play professional baseball. You can go be a world-class fisherman. You could be a NFL superstar. We got the roots here to grow anything.
We have great roots and great family values. And one thing I pride about ourselves on our show is we try to stay away from politics and just the feel-good stories. And you are a feel-good story. I mean, you've come from Bossier City, just like you said earlier. You tell these kids, look, I was standing right where you were, and for you to go as far as you've gone and to see, I mean, I don't even think you've scratched the surface yet, really. I mean, those NFL days are, I mean, I think you're going to have just breakout seasons. And so the shows at Bossier City, we namely South Bossier, I don't know how many pro athletes have come out of North Bossier, but I mean, I know there's been some, but
they're not as cool though.
But we have a gold medal basketball player in Michaela. We've got Terrace Marshall. We've got Brandon Harris, who's at University of Texas. Israel, who plays for the Dallas Cowboys, number 24. So I mean, it's just we've got some good athletes here, and so I went here, I graduated here in 1995, and I'm so proud to say that I came here, and I love my roots here. I always say that I'll never leave, but it's for people like you that make it worthwhile, that are an impact and influential to our future generation, and you care. You don't forget where you came from. A lot of people leave here and never come back and just kind of forget where they came from, and you are not one of those people, and that's just really awesome.
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all for having me. I enjoy coming back home. Just like I said, feeling all the love, man. And definitely don't go unnoticed by me. And like I said, I just want to continue to give back and continue to be that light, continue to be that role model for the kids.
Absolutely.
Just promise us you'll come back on the show.
Yeah, let's say we're going to extend the same invitation this time next year. Let's talk about your big season.
And I can assure you, man, whenever that year comes, that you're holding up that Super Bowl trophy, we are going to be right there with everybody else clapping for you, man.
We may storm the field when it happens.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all.
Well, awesome. Hey, this has been a really great conversation. Thank you again. We truly appreciate it. Eric, like always, I'm going to give you an opportunity for the last word before we close out.
Yeah, man. Hey, we look for some good things coming on. Don't forget that Sobo store, the Sobo Live store. Give back to this community, and we are going to put more merchandise up. If you have merchandise ideas, shoot them over to Wes. And I don't think we're limited to just high school, are we?
We can do anything.
So Elm Grove Middle School, if y'all have stuff that y'all want to put on there, we can have an Elm Grove Middle School section. We want to give back as much as we can because we love you guys, and we thank y'all for the support. And I guess we'll just see you next time.
All right. Thanks for watching. We appreciate everybody, all the likes, the follows, and the shares. You guys go and have a great week.